Have you ever heard of the tunnel rats? No, not the rodents scurrying in dark underground passages, but the fearless warriors who ventured into the treacherous tunnels of the Vietnam War. Join us on an intriguing journey as we uncover the untold stories of these legendary figures known as the tunnel rats in the Vietnamese War. Stay tuned to learn about their bravery, their challenges, and their pivotal role in one of history's most intense conflicts. Get ready to explore the depths of courage and discover the secrets of the tunnel rats. Before we proceed, make sure to subscribe to the channel as we look into the fearless tunnel rats in the Vietnam War. Viet Cong were well known for their devious jungle ambushes and cruelly ingenious booby traps. But one of the enemy's deadliest and stealthiest techniques was to burrow in underground tunnels deep beneath the Earth's surface and launch attacks from the cover of dark and labyrinthine caverns. This contributed to the difficulty in defeating the Viet Cong and North Vietnamese armies. The existence of the tunnels in many regions of South Vietnam required army and marine units to develop a capability to fight underground. They organized makeshift units made up of volunteers, necessarily men of small stature, to go into the tunnels to confront the enemy. There have been accounts of firefights in the dark, and if American forces prevailed, they would destroy as much of the underground complex as possible with explosives. The Americans and their allies who took on the gruesome task of rooting out and defeating these hidden foes earned the humble but proud nickname Tunnel Rats. These tunnel rats played a crucial and harrowing role during the Vietnam War, navigating the dark and perilous underground labyrinth of Viet Cong tunnels. These brave soldiers, often equipped with little more than a flashlight and a sidearm, ventured into the intricate network of tunnels to root out enemy fighters, gather intelligence, and destroy vital infrastructure. The Army's search and destroy missions in 1966 began uncovering a large network of tunnels near Saigon. One such tunnel network had been made over up to 20 years and had small, well-camouflaged entrances. When found, tunnels often contained valuable intelligence or supplies, but the tunnels presented two difficulties for the Army. They were small, often too small for most soldiers to fit in, and they were wholly unknown. The tiny tunnels, most only measuring 2 feet by 3 feet, meant soldiers could only enter one at a time. No two tunnel complexes were ever the same layout, with sections joining at various angles in a zigzag pattern. Because of these difficulties, a specialized unit was assembled to enter, clear, and exploit the tunnels in 1966. Deliberate tunnel clearance fell to this group of volunteer infantrymen, engineers, and chemical weapons experts who were known as the tunnel rats. These tunnel rats were an eclectic group selected for unique characteristics. Most were short, less than 5 feet 5, with a slight wiry build. The job also required a special kind of mental toughness, crawling for hours in claustrophobic darkness, expecting mortal danger could break down even the bravest men. The job also demanded lightning-quick reflexes and no hesitation. Confrontations with venomous snakes or Viet Cong often occurred at hand-to-hand range. Soldiers in tunnels had to travel light and abandon their technological advantages. Helmets, load-bearing equipment, and even water canteens might be too bulky to carry underground. Some even abandoned their uniform coat. Soldiers began entering with a pistol and flashlight, and the Army later added a communications wire, compass, and bayonet to help them check for traps and communicate to the surface. They often carried a gas mask to protect against poison gas traps, but many decided to leave even that above ground. As the war went on and tunnel rats refined their techniques, most ended up taking less and less down into the tunnels. Often, gaining entry to the tunnels was difficult, as the doors were challenging to discover without careful search. Most tunnels required painstaking exploration to uncover, and tunnel rats arrived on scene only after regular patrols had uncovered an entrance. Finding an entrance did not guarantee entry. Viet Cong often booby-trapped the doors or placed grenades in nearby trees to kill soldiers trying to gain entry to the tunnel systems. Once in the tunnel network, the real dangers began. Tunnels were dug to dissipate shockwaves from explosions. This construction also obstructed soldiers' lines of sight. An ambush by the Viet Cong could be waiting around every bend. The tunnel system could be home to venomous snakes or scorpions around every corner or in any wall indentation or hidden ledge. Spiders, mosquitoes, and bats annoyed and distracted soldiers already on edge. There were only around 100 army tunnel rats in Vietnam, and most either died in the tunnels or ambushes on the surface. Tunnel rats moved into writing a new set of tactics, techniques, and procedures for clearing tunnels. While only one could fit abreast in the tunnel, occasionally a second one would enter behind to assist. The rest of his unit provided security, and at least one other soldier remained at the entrance at all times. Rats maintained communication with their partner, who recorded the actions and attempted to sketch out the tunnel and any significant findings. Rats eventually switched to using red-lensed flashlights, since the Viet Cong only used white lights and candles. Upon leaving the tunnels, they whistled an agreed-upon tune so their muddy figure would not be mistaken for a Viet Cong guerrilla. For equipment, many had to make do with a flashlight, handgun, bayonet, and handset at the end of a reel of wire so that they could communicate with their comrades outside of the tunnel. There was a tunnel recon kit that was issued to at least some tunnel rats, though not all. It had a hat with a light to replace, having to hold a flashlight, though there were complaints that the brim of the hat blocked much of the light, making it largely useless. There was a revolver with a suppressor issued due to complaints that soldiers were being deafened by using the standard .45 caliber handgun in confined spaces. They also often carried explosives to destroy the tunnel. Once the tunnel rats had retrieved any information, equipment, or prisoners they could find, they set out to destroy the tunnel or deny its use to the Viet Cong in the future. To deny tunnels, the rats filled deeper tunnels with riot control agents like a powdered form of tear gas, while collapsing the entrances with explosives. Denial generally made the tunnels unlivable for between 2 to 6 months. These deliberate operations all took time, a commodity most commanders lacked, so the tunnel rat search was often the most impactful part of an anti-tunnel operation. Once done with their mission, the rats either returned to base or took a helicopter to the next tunnel in their area of operations. In the amorphous world of the Vietnam War, the tunnel rats eliminated over 12,000 guerrillas and captured many more. Also, they often uncovered maps, orders, and battle plans which helped save more American lives. The tunnel rats chose to go down into unfamiliar territory without the benefits of modern technology to deny the Viet Cong any sanctuary. In a complicated war with a painful history in American culture, the courage, skill, and nerve of the tunnel rats shone as they invented a military skill in the midst of mortal danger. Thank you for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon for more upcoming videos like this.